What's going on? I'm Cody. Welcome to Anything for Reactions. The big story I want to talk about today is Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now the worst reviewed Star Wars movie. The final Rotten Tomatoes tally is coming, and it looks like The Rise of Skywalker is the worst reviewed Star Wars movie ever, sitting at 52%, 1% lower than Star Wars The Phantom Menace. So nevertheless, it's clear the word of mouth on Rise of Skywalker was also lukewarm. While it only took 12 days for The Force Awakens to cross 1 billion worldwide and 19 days for The Last Jedi to hit that mark, it took 26 days for The Rise of Skywalker to make its $1 billion. I mean, this is interesting to say the least. I mean, there were a lot of plot holes in this previous Star Wars movie. I mean, The Rise of Skywalker, I think it's good as far as like fan service goes and like giving like the fans like what they need and what they wanted. But in the same token, I mean, there were a lot of plot holes in this movie. I mean, it's really interesting to see like how like many days it took them to cross 1 billion. I mean, like I was saying, it's 12 days for The Force Awakens, it was 19 days for The Last Jedi, and 26 days for The Rise of Skywalker. I mean, that's a really like slow transition. I mean, it made $1 billion, so I mean, like it did its job, I think. But I mean, man, like the movie was really interesting. I mean, there was a lot of surprises and a lot of stuff. I mean, we had Palpatine back. I mean, that was really interesting. But I mean, again, there were a lot of plot holes that I think were in this movie as well, that weren't addressed, and they basically like retconned a lot of stuff. And I think they needed more time to do what they were trying to do in this movie. But I think it was an okay movie. 52%, maybe one of the worst reviewed star. I don't know about that, man. But man, it's really interesting, and I don't know, man. I have like mixed feeling about The Rise of Skywalker. I think it was a good film. It had a lot of fan service in it, but again, you can't negate those plot holes that were in this movie as well, which I think are really interesting to say the least. And I don't know if it deserves that low of a rating as far as for the critics go. I sort of said like if I was to rate this movie, I think it'd be at like a 70 some percent or something like that. I think it was a good maybe 6.5 or 7 out of 10. I don't think it deserved that 52% rating, but I mean, there were a lot of plot holes. So I see where the critics are coming from in this sense. But I think it was a great movie, and I think overall, I think there were some plot holes for sure. But the fan service, I think, was really nice. Yeah, I'm really surprised that this is one of the lowest, like the lowest rated Star Wars movie, right below The Phantom Menace. I think that's absolutely like really interesting to say the least. But yeah, I mean, The Mandalorian, man, I'm repping the merge right now. An absolutely brilliant series. I think as far as like as storytelling goes, I think they did a great job building up characters. I think Baby Yoda stole the show on that one, which was so amazing. And man, I can't recommend Mandalorian enough. The Mandalorian, because it was so amazing. And Disney Plus, I mean, they're knocking it out of the park with all this stuff, man. And I just think that's so amazing. So yeah, I think it's going to take some time to cool down. And I think if they do have more Star Wars like sagas going in the future, I think they should take some time and like carefully just know what they're doing when they're going into it. I think a lot of this stuff was not well thought out. I think they retconned a lot of stuff and they changed a lot of things. And I don't think they had a clear vision of where they wanted to go with the Star Wars movie, which I think hurt them in the long run. I mean, if you're making a movie, I think you need to have a clear goal or go with what the audience are saying and what they want, and then just basically do that and just make everybody happy. I know that's hard. That's really hard to do. But if you can make a large percentage of people happy, I think you're doing your job. And I think as far as Star Wars knows, I think people know what they want to see when they see a Star Wars movie. They want to see lightsaber, they want to see action, they want to see storytelling, they just want to see larger than life characters on the screen that make sense and are like believable and are great and are just again larger than life. And I think that was missing in like the Star Rise of Skywalker. And I think these previous, like, we had Rey and everything, but really, what was her story and everything? Like, I don't know. This is just like my opinion, and right now I'm rambling. So, I mean, yeah, 52%, the lowest Star Wars rated film of all time. Really interesting. What are your guys' thoughts on Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now the worst reviewed Star Wars movie? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, click that bell to turn notifications. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy this news video, reaction style, sort of like opinion piece, I guess, news video. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. As always, guys, I'll catch you in the next news video, reaction video, some type of video. Later, guys.